Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and pool fans from around the world. If you love pool, well, you're in the right spot. This is the 2025 Derby City Classic. If you can't tell, we're having a great time. This might be a record-breaking crowd for the Derby, and right in front of me here is a 5 by 10 foot diamond. It has become a fan favorite tournament. 16 of the best players on the planet, single elimination action, and only one could be the 2025 Bigfoot 10-Ball Challenge champion. We're in round one, and only one spot remains for the Elite Eight, and it's time to find out who's going to make it in. First up, he is a U.S. Open champion. He's won every event here at the Derby and so many more, and he's a member of the Billiards Hall of Fame. Sponsored by Lomax and Pagulayan. Make some noise from Toronto, Canada, the Lion, Alex Pagulayan. And his opponent is a 2024 Predator Puerto Rico Open champion, 2024 9-Ball Texas Open champion. He's sponsored by Predator and Michelle Griffin from Lviv, Ukraine. Make some noise for Vitaliy Patsura. It's a race to 10. We're lagging for the break and sending it up to the ACCUSTATS Skybox.
Yeah, welcome everybody. This is your host, Scott Frost. I have a special guest tonight, and he's actually not too often a guest. He's one of the main men, Mr. Nick Varner, the Colonel. Nick, I want to ask you first off, what's your opinion of this match? We know Vitaliy just played a 5-hour match in the bank pool. We don't even know the guy he played. He was a little older gentleman, ended up beating Vitaliy. Does that affect what's happening here?
Well, I think he's probably too solid for that to really affect him. He's a pretty solid player. I mean, he's pretty young and everything, but I think he'll be back to business here where he'll be trying. He's probably, after a 5-hour bank match, will be happy to shoot one straight in.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Yeah, I was just kind of looking at how he's sitting in his chair, and to your point, I don't think it'll take him long to adjust to this, and like you said, he will be thrilled to shoot one straight in.
Well, he's certainly got his hands full. Anybody that's playing this match, he's playing Alex, and Alex is a tough turtle to drown.
Yeah, well put. That's a fact. I think if there's any flaws in Alex's game at this point, it's probably just age. He gets a little body movement, but other than that, I don't know anybody that grinds better than Alex Pagulayan, and a 10-foot table is right up his alley.
Hey, one thing, you can't hit it no more square than that break. Wow.
No. And how do you come up dry in that position? The 3 was going, I think the 4 was going, and the 5 flicked it out.
Yeah, and he had good position, too. It looks like one of the key points is getting good shape on this 2. He should, if he gets good shape on that 2, they're all kind of laying there. And good speed coming around the horn there. Now he does have, maybe have to play a combination. He needs a good angle when he comes down table for that 4, where he can just roll that 4 into 5 so he don't lose position.
Yeah, so you'd rather be a little steeper on the 4 versus straight in.
Well, you can be on 2 sides of that, but the key, you don't want to have to, like a lot of shots, usually you get in trouble when you get too thin.
Right.
I like to stay a little full, unless you have one of them angles where you need to be steep. But most of the time, you need to be hitting that object ball pretty full.
Yeah, just where you want to control the 4, though, right? So you want to kind of float it. You don't want to have to hit it with a punch speed or anything like that. Did he mean to catch the 6, I wonder?
I don't think so, but I don't know where he was trying there. That was going to be pretty hot. If it misses a 6, I'm not sure he wouldn't end up hooked, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. He was coming way down table. I don't know if he was going to be hooked or further yet. I will say, Nick, he's been waiting over an hour to play this match as well.
That was a great hit there. There was a little distance there between that 4. He'd like to have been a couple feet closer, huh?
100%.
But he did a great job with that. Now he does, of course, he does need to get on the right side of this 6 position here is really important because I don't think the combination's laying very good, and he needs to be on the side with the 9, and then he needs to get back up for the 8. He don't want to have to run into that 10. So the 9's right about where he needs to be, huh?
Yeah, and he's aware, to your point, he did carry the angle on the 6, but he's got to be careful and avoid the 9. He might be safer, Nick, just to stay up towards the center of the table, just come down a foot or so, just to avoid any concerns with the yellow and white. If he can just pinch this in and hold up top.
He's trying to get where he don't have to. He's working hard not to have to deal with that 10. You've seen how hard he was working there, and like I say, the 9's where he'd like to be in.
Absolutely. You talk about a guy with one of his biggest assets. You were very similar, Nick. His cue ball control is really where he stands out. He likes to get nice and tight to his work.
I don't know if he can go one rail or if he's doubling the corner or if he's going to draw in and out. Looks like he's going to draw in and out, huh, Scott?
Yeah, it looks like you can just come back. Tell you what, Nick, you guys, and when I say you guys, I am going to say it, you guys are not tall gentlemen, but I'll tell you what, and I use this when I coach, you find ways to get to the shot. Really, height can only help you in certain positions, but overall, it's amazing how well you can get to the ball. And Alex is a great example of that. This is a 10-footer, and he goes up 1-0.
Well, that was a pretty nice out. He played good on that 4-5 combination, and then that 7 was kind of in a tough spot, and he handled it really nice and getting flat where he didn't go. If he has to go into that 10 there, he could have had big problems.
Yeah, I thought he might be able, if he was more towards the center, might be able to punch down 2 rails and out and avoid it, but he came down, like you said, and really wanted to get tight to it. You want to be right where the 9 was, like you said. We're going to get a look at Alex's break now. Alex with a snooker background as well. He tried to make the pro snooker tour over there in Europe, and I think he might have made the top 64. If not, he was real close to qualifying. Spent a lot of time over there. So the 10-footer definitely doesn't bother him. Oof, a little mishit, Nick.
Yeah, but he made one, and look, wow. Look at this. He got some jelly here on not scratching and
straight in.
He don't have to do anything to get to the 2. The test will be falling pretty full on this 3, but well, he's got to cut this more than I thought. But
yeah, I actually think he just created the angle so he didn't have to double hit it, right, with a little inside ball there and just twist the 1 in.
Well, now here he don't want to be short. He don't have to go down table off his 3. Since the 4 is close to it, he wants to be sure you don't come under this
You come to
shot.
the second rail, Nick?
Yeah, second diamond, yeah. Get up. He don't want to have to go past them side pockets on this one.
Not contest with the 9 and 7, 10, and all that stuff down there. Did well. I think he's good.
Yeah, he did real good. There's never any problems with these last 7 balls unless you happen to go maybe 6 inches too far on.
Yeah, yeah, unless.
Now, I don't know. He's going the wrong way here, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's got a huge stretch. He's great.
And he's close to this forward, too.
He is very good with the bridge. Probably just going to stop there. Can't tell if he's got an angle. Oh, he's coming back. Beautiful. Really nice.
I bet his ability to use the bridge like that's liable to come from playing that snooker.
100%. From what I heard, he would use it constantly over there.
Well, most people would have a lot of problem with what he just did.
Including me.
You know, because he jerked that ball back about 4 or 5 feet.
Exactly. And
that's not easy for most players.
I was going to point it out. I was naturally thinking he's just going to stop right there.
But, yeah, I was thinking too. I started to ask you, is he going to stop there?
But not him. He's going to pinch it back and get perfect. And I'm not seeing any of that movement in the arm. Sometimes he tends to get a little chicken winged, but still executes great. But I don't see any of that right now, which is a great sign for Pagulayan.
Well, they say the guy that stays the stillest wins. You know, one thing you did there surprised me a little. I thought he'd come up for the side. Did you ever think about that instead of going for the corner pocket there? What do you like?
Well, a lot of these guys on the 10-footer will do that. We've seen that more often than not on this table over the last 2 days. And so the line is up 2-0. I hope it's not toxic for Vitaliy coming from the Banks match. He is a fluid player, really great player from Ukraine. It's such a nice guy, so much talent. He's really come on, Nick, in the last year. I mean, he came over to the States at a great level, but I really think it's picked up in the last year another notch.
Well, I saw him playing that Chinese hayball tournament there in Quincy, Illinois, during the BCA junior tournaments, and that was the first experience. But he played good. He lost to Corey, ended up winning it, and Corey and him had a really tight match. But boy, I mean, his only shot so far, looked like to me, he hit it perfect. A cue ball came back dead center of the table, and he had good position on the one, but he failed to make a ball.
Yeah, he just came up dry, and he actually hit him good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately for him, though, it is alternate break. There are no jump cues allowed. Cue ball must be all the way behind the head string to make a legal break.
What's that mean? The base of the ball has to be behind the head
entire ball.
No part can be
correct.
touching?
That's correct. Touching, it's out.
Well, that's kind of a new rule, or they've been playing like that all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of goes back and forth. Mark and I were talking about it. I like it because there's just never any arguments. It's pretty clear to tell when a ball is touching the line, but the base of a ball can be a little bit subjective at times. And once again, he's come up dry, Nick. Pagulayan back to the table. Does he use the 7 and 9 here, or what do you think?
Yeah, that's certainly one option. Looked like a pretty good option.
Yeah, you just don't want to flick the one into the side, but once again, not using jump cues, so it's not terrible. I don't think he wanted the one looming over that side pocket, but it's not going to hurt him.
Well, this is where the jump cue would be devastating.
Yes.
For Alex.
Yes, it would. Yeah, this is a hanger if he has the jump cue.
But it's not a hanger kicking that ball in the side.
No, he's going to have to go to the top rail.
Now, is he trying to make it or go rail first? Two rails. Yeah,
you could tell where he was aiming. I felt like that ball was going to open up a lot.
Yeah, the way he was aiming, it looked like he was too steep
Yes.
to make it hit.
Too deep.
I would have
corner.
liked to kicked it straight at it myself.
Agreed, because if you miss-hit it, I think you're going to catch it rail first.
Yeah, because this table
It's gonna
looks like
lengthen.
this cloth is new, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So it's going
a
to
day
go
old.
along. It's
Right.
going to slide along. Now, he's got a little work to do here on the 7 ball. And I don't see where he can open it up unless it's maybe with the 5, but I'm not sure. He won't try to, he's got a choice to make if he tries to play position from that 6 to the 7.
Right, it does play to the top left corner, the 7, but that's about it. But the 6 isn't a good position to get to it if you don't want to flirt with it.
Yes. Got maybe a little more angle than he wanted here. I think he may have to go to the rail and out. Maybe he can pinch it, but
Yeah, and he might even just draw back, Nick, and play short side. But he is steeper than he wanted to be, right?
yes. Maybe he'll just try to punch it in softly and keep it from sliding too far. No, he went with the firmer stroke on this side, and
Yeah, he was just so steep there.
well, so far Alex has played textbook run-out pool here so far. He hasn't missed a ball, and he's made every ball he shot at. Except for the safety to open up his rack anyway.
Yeah, he looks really good. This needs to settle, though, or it's going to marry. Well, Nick.
He's not happy with this.
You got him, Nick.
Yeah.
Commentators
Brag on him too much, didn't I?
Never fails.
Yeah.
We do it all the time.
The commentators curse. Well, he's probably going to use this 7-9. Try to put him between.
Yeah, look at that speed. Pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, it looked like that wasn't as easy as he
No.
made it look, huh? It looked like you could either hit it too thick or too thin and lose your speed.
Yeah, so great at the touch shots, Pagulayan. Yeah, I mean, overall, just so great at the cue ball and object ball speed. Always has been.
Well, he don't have all these banners on the wall here. 'Cause he don't know what he's doing.
That's a fact. Yeah, this isn't terrible if it sits. You at least have to come with something. It's a little awkward, right, Nick? Or can he just draw back if he banks this?
Well, he could draw back. Do you draw back? Because you're going, I think, a little bit to the right.
Yes.
Or do you just follow forward and hit it dead, almost dead in the middle of the 5 and follow forward? I guess this is personal choice here because you can always kiss a 6 in off the 8.
The 8.
You always got that option. So the key here is get this 5 to drop.
That's right. There was a little body movement, just a little. I've just played him a lot, and he's so great. Even with the body movement, his execution seems to be pretty much flawless. But at times, he'll have it.
Now, do you cut this in the side and go 3 rails or draw to the end rail and out, or do you just focus on any way you can make it, because you are going to have that 6-8 kiss from almost anywhere.
Yeah, he's aggressive. He's going to the middle. Just kind of real heavy.
Well, you could be right, Scott. He might be having a little hangover from that bank.
That's a good term, hangover. I mean, listen, he's played 5 hours of bank pool. It's a little bit different stroke, completely different game, completely different table. You just never know. It might have helped a little if he'd have won the match too, Nick. You know what I mean? Yeah. You invest 5 hours into a match and then happen to lose it down to the last ball or two. It can take a little out of you. Of course, they're professionals and it shouldn't, but they're also human.
Yeah, there's a lot of rhythm in this game. A lot more rhythm than the bank, you know.
Yes. And almost, with you saying that, it almost looked like his timing was a bit off on the 5. It looked like he actually was a little quick. And I know we use that a lot, but it's really a real problem when a pro makes a mistake. So maybe his timing's just a tick off. You know, Nick, the Filipinos, and I know you'll agree with this, they were so good at going from games like one pocket and bank pool to 9-ball. They were better than most Americans at that, and I never figured out how or why they were so much better than most Americans at transitioning from one game to the other. It was fascinating. When I say the Filipinos, I'm mainly talking Efren and Bustamante. Perica was great too.
Well, one thing about those guys, if they were awake, they were playing pool.
100%. Well, so far it's all Pagulayan. Taking a 3-0 lead here early.
3-0 lead. I thank our main sponsors of the Bigfoot.
Nick, you just got in town a few hours back?
Yeah, I just got in town tonight. Went out to have dinner with a friend of mine, Phil Wyndham from the Chattanooga Billiard Club.
The best.
We've been friends for over 40 years.
Yeah, great guy. Gotta love Phil.
Yeah, he's got a couple beautiful rooms there in Chattanooga.
Yeah, I've been. It's been some years. Nothing but class back there. Great operation. Okay, Nick, he mishit this last one. I'm sure he'll make the adjustment, right?
Yeah, he crossed over and almost scratched in that right side pocket, or the upper side pocket.
Yeah, he made a big adjustment to the other side. The 6 gonna fall.
Made that 4 rails. That 6 went 4 rails.
It's been happening a lot on this 10-footer.
Has it?
Yeah, it's been happening a lot. They're avoiding the kiss with the 4-railer somehow. On the 9-footer, typically you'll see a lot of kisses with that 4-railer. It doesn't quite make its routine, but it does here.
He looks a little thin here. He's really going to kind of have to pinch this with low right here. Well, he's going toward that side. Ooh. Dangerously close there.
Yeah, and that's to your point. He was extremely thin. He had to dig deep. He just got there. Yeah, where's the trouble? The 5-ball?
Well, isn't he a little... Is he thick enough to stop in time for the 4, go around the 10?
Yeah, he
can.
He
go around the 10 here?
Yes. Still wants to carry some type of an angle on the 4, right?
Yeah, he's got to get back up for the yard right. He needs an angle to be able to get on the 5 here. And I can't tell whether he's going to draw straight up table or whether he's going to bounce off this rail. I can't.
Yeah, it looks like he can punch out.
He's got to clear the 7 when he comes out. That's really nice. Now, do you go around 3 rails? You almost have to with that 9 there, don't you?
Agreed, and it's a little trickier on this 10-footer we've seen over the last day and a half, but the other problem, Nick, is he's got a big stretch here. Easy to miss-hit this cue ball.
Yeah, and if you're using...
Oh,
he might come above the 9 here, huh?
Yes. Oh, he's killing it.
Wow. Pretty smart play there now.
Yes, it is. That's a one-pocket player right there. They use that shot a lot, the kill stroke.
Well, you would know that, Scott.
I'm trying not to talk in third person. Well, he don't mind the stretch, does he?
No, he didn't take no chance with the stretch. Notice how close he gets that tip to the cue ball. Most people, when they play that shot, their tip is 3-4 inches away, and then they come up sharp for position because they've already followed through almost when they get to the cue ball.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here shaking my head yes, because you're so correct. And I'm probably the worst example of a person using the bridge. I've just never been able to figure it out. So I'd rather switch hands or do something completely different. I avoid it at all costs, for good reason. I think he's better off here than on the rail. So there's nothing wrong with this.
No, we have a tendency to think this is an easy shot, but you do have to aim this one. No problem for Alex.
Yeah, no problem. Alex is right. Leading 4 games to 0. I wonder if Vitaliy is considering taking a break. Just to regroup, right? I don't know how much time he's had since the match he just previously played, but I don't think it can hurt.
That could be a good idea. Wash your face or something and try to get back in this game, because even though 4-0 seems like a lot, it's far from over as long as you're able to get back with the program.
I think it's real big, Nick, and obviously you being one of my favorite players of all time, and I know you know that. Talk about how important the strategy is behind a break at the pro level. There's strategy to it, right?
Yeah, it's no different than basketball, really.
Of course.
Taking the time out at the right spot is very important, You see it all the time when you watch games. Some coaches know when to take it and some don't.
Yes, and it can backfire quickly when they don't.
Because if you wait too long, you may not need the timeout.
Oh, really good pop there.
One thing I like about his technique on that break is he doesn't move too much. You notice that? He stays down pretty good, huh?
Yeah, he does.
And hits it pretty
square. Like as square as you can hit it. And what's shocking to me is, and we haven't seen this a lot, but the break is just coming up dry. I don't know if the room has changed. There are a lot of people in here tonight, which is a great thing. But we haven't seen a lot of dry breaks. Not like this. These balls are just reacting a little different.
He going to the 3 here.
That's not very nice of him.
He's a cold killer. What can you say? On the pool table.
Yes, he is. The Lion.
Boy, he needs desperately to make contact here.
Yeah, do you go to the second rail or do you go towards the ball?
I like the second rail here. Because no matter which side you hit it on, you can get away here.
Oh, look at this. And look at this.
You don't think he stepped on a baby as he walked in this room, do you? That's cold-blooded there, huh?
Yeah, that's absolutely brutal. And you know, I can't get away from it. I was just telling you, he had a straight and cross side to beat the guy over there in the Banks match. And I guess I looked up and somebody had said he lost that match. I don't know what's happened, but I do feel for him because he hit that so sweet.
Man, he hit it perfect.
T-Boy 11, John Adams, Shane Van Boeing, Adams and Van Boeing on 11. Table 12 is Kevin Peen and
It can be a really cruel game.
Yeah, that was pretty cruel there.
Miscue. Boy, I'd love to get a replay. I know we're not going to because we got a lot going on, but it seemed like he was quick there, or a little bit jerky. He was trying to pinch the ball, though. That being said, you've got to really dig into the cue ball. We're going to get another look. It's hard to tell. It's in slow motion. He didn't even get too low on the cue ball there, Nick. He just miscued. I don't know if it was a
He was
stroke.
awful fast, too.
It was fast.
He didn't bear down on it
Okay.
like he usually does. He didn't treat it with the respect that it deserves because, like you said, he was trying to pinch it and pull it inside that 7.
Yeah, well, it's just what the doctor ordered for Vitaliy. He needs to take advantage here.
Yeah, I'd say this is more than a breath of fresh air for him here. Huh?
Yeah, and it's just what he needs, right? The more balls he gets down, the looser he can become. You almost have to look at it at this point, 4-0 down. It's nothing major, but just play the game and almost got nothing to lose, right? I think that's what all the great players did when they were trailing.
Well, the key to this game is just make your next ball. That's all you can ever do.
Absolutely. One at a time, right? Don't get ahead of yourself. He'd be happy to be right where he's at now on the 7, or a little more to the right is fine, but
Looks like he's going a little down on this 6. So do you take the length, or can you draw in and out on the side rail, or draw to the side rail and change a pocket for the 7? What do you like here, Scott?
yeah, I like drawing to the side rail. Just don't be too afraid of the 8. Okay, he's assuring that he gets through.
That was perfect.
Yes, it was. He took the 8 completely out of the equation, right? Even if he connects with the 8 full, he's going to have a look in the corner. So really like the decision.
Yeah, I do too, because the worst thing that can happen, he's going to be close to that 7, you know.
Exactly.
Even if he has to play a safe, he's going to be close to it.
Yeah, versus the distance, right?
Yes.
Yeah, really good to see this. And he needs to get something under his belt. We want to see a good match. Alex has played very good so far up until the miscue on the 3. Well, nearly perfect, actually.
Well,
Whoa. Whoa. All right.
this is almost my favorite shot on the money ball.
You had a few of these in your career, right, Nick?
Couple.
Vitaliy is on the board.
Well, he can wipe the sweat off his forehead now, can he?
The skunk is off. Trailing 4-1.
Well, that should help him get a little more confidence.
Alex working hard to get those balls tightened up. These guys, Nick, these guys are playing the 3 or the 9 or the 3 and the 9 into the middle pockets. Typically what I've seen is if you're breaking to this side or from this side, the 9 is getting closer to the side than the 3. But as soon as I say that, the 3 will go. He's got to make a square hit for one time, though. And he has not done that.
Well, you are right about that 3 and 9. That's like magic if you can get one of them to go. A lot of times you get a pretty good layout, and a lot of times you'll get position. It just seems like that rack opens up so nice with when one of them balls go on the side. And of course, if you make both, that's usually they're really rolling good. You're breaking good when that happens.
Yeah, well said. I don't know if Alex has a coach or anybody in his corner, but if I was in his corner, Nick, I think I would tell him to just take some speed off and really focus on the accuracy of the 1. Because it looks like he's really trying to hit them, and in that moment you're losing accuracy.
You know, there's a lot to be said for taking that speed off. Over the years when I run several racks, most of the time I took speed off. And the way I always did is I just shortened up my bridge. So instead of trying to change the speed of my stroke, I just shortened my stroke.
That's great information.
And not change the way that I stroked the ball. Because I was watching a match I played a year ago or so that is a major tournament, and I lost it. And boy, I wished I could have seen myself when I was playing the match, because every game I kept trying to hit it harder, and I bet if I would have went the opposite way, balls would have started to pour in.
Absolutely. Ooh, look at this, Nick. You didn't see it. He got quick and caught it to the corner. But going back to that, you're proof in the pudding, right? More with the accuracy. People think that Shane Van Boning's breaking the balls at 25, 26, 27 mile an hour. In all reality, he's hitting them so square that it looks like he's hitting them that hard. So it's really good information for people to have. Wouldn't mind hitting the 4.
Well, he's certainly the perfect example of practicing your break paying off big time.
Yes, he is.
Because he hits that front ball so square, and that don't come by showing up at your match. You got to. He spends hour after hour racking and breaking, racking and breaking.
Coming back behind the 9 and 4 here.
I think so.
Oof, got it way too heavy. He's not happy about it. I can't blame him. I mean, that was just way off the mark. He did miss the 3 the inning prior. It is time for a break if you're Vitaliy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you a little bit there. You know, I think that's a case where he was trying to create his own angle. I don't think he had the angle to hit it with high. I think he either had to dig down a little.
Because it was so steep?
Yes, because he was going to have trouble with high getting behind the 8 and 9. And with more speed, that ball wouldn't have just lagged on that rail over there.
No, it makes sense. He was very steep on the ball, so it very well could have been that he was trying to create the angle. That's how he caught it more full as well.
Because when you said behind 8 and 9, I thought, boy, can he get there?
Yeah, it was steep, and he was definitely trying to do that, I believe, but probably not the right shot. Oof.
You know, that happens. I've done that a million times.
Oh, yeah.
Where my tip comes up a whole tip or so, and instead of drawing it, just like he basically stopped the ball there. And it's a killer for position. In this case, he's really got some distance here.
Yeah, good call. And I think it's because of the stretch, Nick. He had his extension out. He was way stretched out. So that tip can come up much easier when you're like that.
Well, that's a good point on the fact he had that extension, because it is a lot easier to come up. But boy, talk about recovering awful good. The only thing is he needs to be running into a little bit of a 10 here. Otherwise, he's going close to a scratch, huh?
Yeah, and
He don't seem to. Well, I thought at first he was going to bump the 10 because he was shooting so fast, but.
I'll tell you what, as clean as he hit that 6, what a good sign that is for him.
Oh, yeah, he purified nothing but net on that 6.
Yes, he did. He would like to catch a piece of the 10, wouldn't he? And he did.
Well, he erred on the side of shooting the speed he was more comfortable with, don't you think, Aaron? Instead of rolling it, he hit it with some speed.
Let it end up how it ends up.
And kind of cinched it.
Yes.
And
here he is with the bridge again. A little steeper than it looks on camera. Wow.
He made it look easy. Not everybody's going to make that ball. It was pretty thin, you know what I mean? It wasn't real full.
It was thin, and he got into it deep.
Yeah, he's so close to this 9, but now he may have to use it again. But the 10 is laying in a good spot. He just, once he gets to the foul line, he's okay here.
Yeah, no doubt. Watch the side. I think he's well short of it. Well, I could learn a thing or two from him with that bridge, I can tell you that.
Yeah, you're right about that. He's used it several times, and yeah, and that 6x12, I'm sure that's where, if he didn't know before, I bet he really learned how to use that bridge playing on the 6x12 snooker table.
Yeah, you can need the bridge on a side pocket shot on a 6x12. You really can at times, I think.
Yeah, if you're close to the opposite side,
right?
Cue ball.
Yeah, you might need.
You got to shoot that way.
Yes. Alex having fun with the people. He is leading 5-1. That might have something to do with it, but he's always smiling. Pagulayan. And that's typically when you're in trouble. When Alex is having fun and smiling, you'd be paying close attention. Oddly enough, the best breaker in this contest so far is the guy at the table. The results just haven't been there. I mean, he's hitting them absolutely perfect in most opinions. Just off center to the right, Nick. Looking at the 6, going in the left middle.
I think he might have went out a little bit here. I think he was more dead center before, wasn't he? I think he might have changed the position of the white ball just a hair, maybe a half ball.
Well, look at this.
That 3's kind of nasty, unless I think that 3 and 8, that 8 might go in a combination. But still, even though the 8 might be easy to make,
yeah,
you got to be sure
going?
you get where you can play position on that 3 ball here.
And we can see up on this main monitor there, the 8 does play past the 7. But to Nick's point, you've got to get close enough to where you can control the ball, the 3 ball as well. See what he does.
Where do you like to get on the 3 here? Where you like the cue ball to be?
I would be happy anywhere out in the center. I don't think you try to get too cute and catch yourself into a jam. You know what I mean, Nick? Anywhere just, just out to this, towards the right-hand side pocket, I think you can get into the 3 full enough to make the 8. But let's see what he's got in mind.
He likes your choice. He's not going to get snookered on the 6. He wasn't going to get snookered on the 6, that's for sure.
Yeah, and maybe he can use the 10 to slow the cue ball down, right? Some type of way. Draw into it.
Either draw into it or go by it and then hit it to stop. One of the two. But looks like he's drawn into it. No, he.
You choose your choice. I think it was that thin that he had no choice to do that.
Yeah.
Did very well at it. This is very playable. He's close to the ball.
Well, he wants a little angle on that 5 so he can come up and probably get that 6 for that upper side pocket or the left side pocket, depending on which way on the monitor.
He's looking to cut this ball. Really looks thin.
Wow. I didn't realize he had to do this.
Well, you know why he did that. That needs to settle, but he did that to your point. He wanted some type of an angle on the 5, and if he shoots it to the top right corner, I don't know that he could have got this angle.
And he's going to be, yeah, you're right. He's going to be flat if he plays it over here, and then getting on the 6 could be a problem because the 7's blocking the 6 for the corner. Tell you what, he's reaching this pretty good. Boy, it's no good on this rail now. He's going to have to do a little finesse here.
Yeah, is it thick enough where he's crashing towards the 7 or even missing it towards the corner, or is it thin enough that he can avoid it and come 2 rails out?
Well, I guess he can hit that long rail. He's not taking much time. I'd say he's going to hit that long rail and come out 2 rails.
He didn't want to catch a piece of that point.
That point slowed it down, that outside point. He lost his speed there.
Yeah, so it was just in between thick and thin enough, right, at all
But
times.
what else do you do there?
Yeah, you don't risk cutting the 6 thinner so you can avoid the point. I think that's all you can do.
Well, you're a little too far from a 6 to be playing cheat the pocket.
Agreed. Now what's he got up his sleeve? Is he trying to use the 10?
I think he is. I'm going to try to put that.
Oh.
Wow, what a nice touch that was. How about that cue ball control?
Very few people going to outsmart him when it comes down to a bare ball or a couple balls on the table. Very few people going to outsmart him this day and age, if any. Especially when they're close together like that.
Well, he finds himself kicking. You're down 5-1 and you're kicking.
Yeah, and it's not a fun one either.
No. You almost had to play to make this one, don't you?
Yeah, is the scratch on, though? Especially if you elevate. Can you scratch in that top left? Of course you can, but I think you're right.
You hit it too thick, you can. I don't think you have the luxury of trying to drive it 2 rails back up table. Yeah, see.
Yeah, you get behind it too much and you're going in the drink. Especially with that high ball. That's why I considered maybe elevating a little bit, like you're smacking it right into the face. That didn't happen. Things just not going Vitaly's way from the get-go.
No jump cue really changes this game.
I like
Big
it.
time.
I like it.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
I like no jump cue.
And I don't have a problem with a jump cue, maybe if they limited it to once a game or something like that, right? Like phone a friend. You can use it once a game, but if you can get out of traps over and over and over per game with a jump cue, it just takes a little bit away from the game.
Well, what's really bad is when they don't even know which end either ball's going to end up on, but they hook you.
Yeah. So they're going to take
the hook is what you got to.
The hook is painful.
Yes, it is.
All right, guys, they're going to take a quick break, so are we. We'll be right back with you. Thank you all for tuning in. And we are back.
But that's a toughie.
And there you see the averages. Pagulayan, obviously, 3 to 4 in the total breaks. Successful breaks, 2 to 0. I think that was. Looking at the monitor, quite a ways from us. He needs to make an adjustment, Nick. We talked about this. Maybe take some speed off. Worry about your accuracy. Much better.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. He made that ball next to that corner ball. It went one rail in the back row. That ball sometime will, either ball on either side can go one rail if it don't get kissed out. A lot of times they go toward the diamonds on the short rail, but
Yeah, he's got a good look at the 1. And I think the position's pretty good coming down for the 2.
I think the main thing here is just got to make the 1. I think, and gauge how hard you got to shoot. Well, I guess he couldn't stop in time. He had to go for the side, but
Yeah, I'm looking at the line, Nick. He's really good here. He can just float this in, or he can come off the rail if he'd like. I don't exactly know how it lays.
I think he'll float it in, but maybe I don't know. He had to go to the rail. It was tougher than I thought.
Yeah, sometimes they want to shoot it like that just to ensure the make a little bit more too, right?
Yeah.
Back to the extension. Boy, I'd say about 60% of this match he's using the bridge or the extension. He does well with both. Oh, look at this with a big high right ball. So clean.
With the extension, that's pretty good to hit there now. I like to pinch this one in. I don't like going to the end rail here.
Yeah, you got a lot of room
He's
to
back
work with.
he's back to the bridge.
Yeah.
He needs to make a holster for that bridge.
Yeah, you're going to give somebody an idea, and next thing you know, they'll be out with it. Well, can the pocket help him here?
Yeah, it helped him a little, but he didn't aim to pinch it quite that good. He wanted a little bounce there.
Yeah, and I don't know how straight he is, Nick. He might just have to take the distance on the 8, unless he thinks he can go forward, but that's even tougher to make the ball. Yeah, that's why there's a slight elevation. I think he's just going to stop it here.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he'll be going very far with the white. Made a good hit. That shot's no hanger that he just made on that 7 just to pocket it.
Yeah, we tend to forget this is a 10-foot table. It's not a 9-foot table. So everything's a little bit longer.
Yeah, you got to put your big boy pants on this table now.
You're not kidding. And he's going to extend his lead, barring some miracle. 7 games to 1.
Still rolling. 7 more.
Well, that Derek, he does a good job.
He sure does.
What a great voice he's got, for this.
He really does do a great job. That's Mark's son. I didn't know that he's a mayor. He is the mayor in a small town. Does a great job. He's passionate at everything he does, and I think that's number one, right? If you love what you do, you're most likely going to be great at it.
Well, Colin Powell probably had awful good advice. He says if you can find something to do in your life where you can't wait to get to work when you wake up every morning, he says that's the perfect, because you'll have the passion to do real good at it.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here doing that right now, Nick. I think commentary is something I absolutely love, and the reason I think I love it, Nick, is because I continuously have room for improvement. I think like pool, right? We can always get better. And if it's something that you're looking to get better at and you love it, well, you can't go wrong. I've already learned a couple things from you sitting up here. And this man needs to get a ball down on the break.
Wow, that you would think that's the perfect hit there. He finally got a ball, and I think he's got shape where he can get on the 2. He's maybe a little thinner than he'd like because he's been struggling a little bit, but if he can get this one down, he should be able to stop the bleeding, so to speak, huh?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's all coming to this. Wants to use an outside ball. Does he flirt with going on the inside of the 5?
Well, I like.
Up and down. Okay, this is good. He is.
That's
going
what
to the
I
inside.
like. Oh boy, he missed the one. Wow, he just can't quite. He just struggling a little bit. Well, I shouldn't say, because that shot, he had to row that and he had to spin it a lot, and it was a little thinner than you like.
It was. It was real steep in his defense. It's not something you're in love with starting out. It was definitely missable. And he had to hold the cue ball. You'll see he's barely makeable on the 2 there. So any thinner might have been completely snookered. So it wasn't easy. Ooh, he did not want to catch the 3. Maybe he did want to catch the 3, Nick.
I don't know if he overcut the 1 a little there that fooled him, or if the speed just fooled him totally on that. I wouldn't think you'd want to run into the 3 there, really.
No, but he needed it. I didn't think he needed it, but he needed it. Coming behind this ball. Oh, nothing offensive for Vitaliy here, I don't believe.
No, it looks like it's too thin in the side, but because you sure are not going to get very good position if you shoot it in the side. Is he going to hook him with the 5.94 or? Well, I'm not sure he got there.
No, I thought he might cross the 2 over behind the 5 and 9 and go down towards the 7. It was definitely an option.
Because there is a pretty big hole there, even if he draws back too far between the 9 and the 4, and then it ran into that ball. So he's left him a good shot. Position might be a little tricky though. He may have to go 3 rails. No, he does. Wow.
Wow.
What a good shot that was. He didn't miss that 7 by a hair. Great position, control of the cue ball.
Yeah, you can say that again. And so here, I mean, well, he's back to the extension. But he plays a simple game, and there's nothing wrong with just stopping your ball there. Playing the 4 to the corner. Is he drawing it? Yeah, this is fine.
No, he pretty well did what you said. He just stopped his ball there. He kept it. The old KISS principle's not often a pretty good way to go. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, pretty much the same shot here. Just pinch it back a foot. Don't even have to come back that far, really.
Not really. A ball or two. That's perfect.
Sure is.
Now, you try to die on the rail here, or do you try to get back to the middle a little more?
I like the rail. I like dying on the rail because you can just float it in naturally, right?
Yeah, that's what I like. And he liked it too, Scott.
Yes, he did. Especially with this distance.
I don't guess he could hear you, could he?
What about you? Maybe he can hear you, Nick. I don't know. One of us. Yeah, and he could do it again. It's probably his intention. Yeah, he's gotten a little bigger hop than he'd have liked.
Yeah, because he's got to shoot opposite-handed, or here comes the bridge.
Boy, he gets a lot out of that for very little power. I mean, just a lot.
Noticed how good he dresses that cue ball. He gets that tip pretty close like a normal shot. And he gets the power. A lot of people be a foot or so shorter and put you in the missable range on the ball, possibly. You know, that extra foot sometimes is killer.
Yeah.
On the distance. You go from you're never going to miss it almost to it is possible.
Yes, it is. Well, so far it's been all Alex Pagulayan, a.k.a. the Lion, having a blast up here. Mr. Varner, probably, and I've said this for decades, probably my top 2 all-time favorite players ever. I grew up and when I didn't play pool, I was a basketball player, and when I didn't play pool, sometimes I'd turn the channel on and Nick would be out there chewing that gum and running racks. Well, it's quite the dream to be able to play with you, Nick, and then work with you. It really is surreal. And you don't have to say anything back besides thank you, because I'm younger than you and I haven't achieved what you've achieved. You've earned that. You're welcome. There is no doubt. The things you've achieved in your career are fascinating.
Well, thank you.
You're
I've been
welcome.
pretty lucky. I feel pretty fortunate, to be able to do something that I had a real passion to do and figure out a way to make a living at it.
Yeah, it's very rare, right?
Yeah, this is a tough game to make a living at.
Yes, it is. Well, ball first or rail first here? No, rail first. Okay. Really stressing on the position there. Where's
A lot
he go?
of distance between the 2 and the cue ball here. He's got to really hit this. Do you go above the 6-2 rails, or do you go 3? Looks like he's going to go 3 rails. He's got to hit that ball so good from that distance with all that English, huh?
Yeah, most top players actually avoid the 3-rail play like that on this table because of what you just said. The judge of the English is completely different than a 9-footer, right? So, yes, to answer your question, he has to hit that ball incredibly well. He might be going behind the 7 here.
Wow, you called that, Scott. I was thinking pocket the 3 there myself, but and get on the 4. That fooled me totally.
Well, I'll be honest, I cheated a little. I've played him about 75 million hours in the last 15 years. So the minute he addressed the ball, I could tell he wasn't going to be aggressive.
That's pretty nice speed control, huh? To
Yeah,
get up on that 7.
So good at it.
Now he's going 2 rails, but boy, he's got to be careful he don't come in too short here. No, he didn't. He kicked about as good as you can.
Yeah, it's a fantastic hit there by Vitaliy. Real easy, like you said, to miss that short. 5 is trouble, obviously. The 3 is nothing straightforward. He would be thrilled to get this down if he plays it.
Well, this 3 don't look like no hanger.
No.
To me.
No. Yeah, if he plays it.
And he didn't even play it. That's what he thought how tough it was. Now, is he going to try to do the 6, cross it and catch the 6-10? And what I like to do here is be sure the 3 gets above the side and leave out. Even if I don't catch the 6-10, I want that white ball on the end rail here when I get done, where he has to shoot it to the corner, not the side.
Yeah, Nick's saying when he doesn't want or catch the 6-10, he's saying just get him behind it, more focus on the cue ball, right, Nick? That's exactly what
And
you're
the 3, be sure you don't
Pass
leave
the
it
side.
short where the side, he can cut it in that side, because they kill you with those cuts in the side. They don't miss them too often.
Yeah, super powerful to keep distance and on the rail, especially on this table.
In fact, I always called that short rail the gold bar. He who leaves his opponent on that short rail gets the gold.
You're not kidding. Well, you got a little gold here. You got fortunate, but you know what? Kind of pulling for him at this moment, so I think he deserved it.
Well, I'm enjoying this match so much. I'm not rooting against Alex or anything.
Of course.
I love Alex, but I'd like for the match to last a little longer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all would. Look at this. All of us but the guy at the table. He's going to have to do it again, Nick. What a hit, though. I think he was playing to knock the 3 up there behind the 5 and 7.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he was looking for the snooker, not the pocket, huh?
Yes. Boy, tough to play this with any particular speed. You almost want to fram at this. Oh, my goodness.
I was just thinking, I didn't get a chance to say it, but I was thinking, this ain't laying too bad to bank it cross corner. If you hit that ball close to full, it's going to be close.
He actually put his tip over there on the long rail as well, so I'm assuming that that was what he was doing.
Now here, I don't think you can you have a speed to come up toward the 8, or do you have to swing around 2 rails and get it for the side of the corner?
Yeah, he's swinging.
Yeah, I like this. Because you got 2 pockets you can get it for. He's going to fall about as bad as you can, but if he makes it, he should win the game. This is like shooting at the 10 ball here.
Yeah, he's at the 50, but he will have a good look on the 6 if he gets this down.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like shooting at the money ball here.
Man, let the cue ball go a little bit more than I thought he would. I thought he'd dig in just a fraction more. All right, he's going to the left pocket here, or excuse me, our lower right. I guess that line's okay. He feels he can hold it.
He's cutting it in the left pocket, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Boy, he hit that nice. Well, he's reached a stage in this match, 8-1. There is no pressure.
Yeah,
At
this is
point
really
of the
nothing
match,
to lose, right? Yeah.
It's only when you start catching up where the pressure builds.
Boy, isn't that the truth. How many times have you been way down in a match and you come back and you get within 2 games and all of a sudden that arm starts to get tight again?
I can remember one match I played one time where I was down 10-0 and I tied it up 10-10. I was so nervous. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it can happen. Did you win the match?
Yeah, I did win it, but boy.
It was a miracle.
Oh, and it wasn't one of them break and run outs either. And you never get those, most of the time, you don't get those easy
No, it doesn't work
run
like
outs.
that. Never on the hill. Well, Vitaliy gets one back, trailing 8-2, racing to 10. He did take a break, right? Which we talked about. I think it was a little overdue.
Yeah. Well, right now he probably is feeling pretty, well, not good about the match, but when he shoots at a shot, there's not much pressure. I mean, he realizes he's in a deep, deep hole here, but
Yeah, and one of the biggest challenges, and one of the things that makes this event so great is coming from one match in a completely different game and having to transition into another, right? And that's just part of the Derby. That's what makes it so beautiful.
I think you hit on a key point right out of the gate. He just played a 5-hour bank match, and he didn't win the match. It went hill, and they had to play a million safeties.
Yeah.
And they weren't pocketing very many balls, so
Yeah, it's tough to make that transition, right?
Yes.
And if he wins the match, there is a little difference there. I think you're a little bit more upbeat.
Yeah.
You've got something to hold on to. Here's another look at this amazing break. Gets the 5 down. That was the intended ball.
Do you try to run into the 8 here, or is that too risky? I don't think you can miss the 8. Or is that the 4?
Yeah,
Four.
it's the
4.
4, no problem. Can he miss it and come along and get up between the 7 and 8 coming around, or does he have to run into the 4? I think it's okay. You just hate to catch the 4 on the wrong side. I'm wondering if he can spin around. I'm not looking at them.
With left English and rolling it in, I'm not so sure about what you can't catch. Well, I'm not sure you can miss that unless
Right.
you draw away from it. And
It's much steeper than I think
he's
we think,
playing
too.
safe, too.
Yeah. Very steep. Can't fault him on this decision.
No, I can't argue with that shot.
I've been saying this for 2 days. This ball is one that you can scratch behind very easily if you get too deep in behind it. But nobody's done it yet. I don't expect the man at the table to do it.
Well, he's got a good chance to rehook him here if he hits this full, pretty full. Well, he hit it thin, and he's the best thing I can say about that is it pays to hit the ball you're kicking at.
It sure does. A lot of, especially with all the balls left on the table. Right?
Yes.
He's created distance, and well, this is really difficult.
Yeah, that's really a great point. With all the balls on the table, you got so many things you can possibly get behind. And that 2 is not laying the easiest way to get position, especially from this angle.
Wow.
Gee whiz, he hit that so good.
Well, I mean, I think this goes back to what you're saying, and he once again, I think, landed on the 50, which is a little unfair. But you can kind of see the stroke freeing up at this point, right?
If he can roll this in and hit this rail, he'll have a pretty good angle on the 3. I think he can stop it in time before he gets hooked on the 4, but I may be wrong. I think he can soft roll it in and get shape on the 3 up by the point. No, he overcut it.
Yeah, and that's all due to how steep he was, I think, Nick.
Yeah, he was.
Right? Look at where the cue ball ended up. I guess if he catches it full, or is he contesting with the side? I don't even know, but it was steep.
Yeah. Yeah, you could be right. He might have been laying awful close to that scratch angle.
It looked like it to me. Has he got a swerve here?
No, he jumped over the edge of it, I think.
Sure did. Well, this is one player that we all know too well. When he smells blood, he is typically the guy to finish the job.
Yeah, if he gets this game, it puts him on the hill. When I'm playing a match, I never really worry too much if a guy, as long as he's got to win 2 games or more. But boy, when he gets on the hill, you really feel how tough it's going to be to win, because you just may not get the opportunities, you know. Because a lot of times, if you're 2 games, a guy never gets off that number. But boy, it's a lot easier, I think, to get off the hill number.
Sure is.
With a big lead, especially.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, he does have to get on that far side on that 9. It don't go in that upper left-hand pocket.
Yeah, he's got a little work to do, and he does. I think he does. He want to draw back here, or does he want to punch out? Does he want to draw back? He likes to be close, so he's going to come out one rail.
Yeah, he needs to hit it with a little speed to get out far enough.
Oh, he's done good, right, Nick?
Yeah, he can just draw back, I think, without hitting a rail. He might have to hit that other side rail, or he might. He could go forward even, but I like drawing back here, even if I got to bounce off that rail. Is that what you like, Scott?
Yeah, he's going to keep it nice and tight that way.
Yeah, keep it.
He's so good with that pinch draw stroke. He really is one of the best ever at that stroke. Creates a lot of different angles with very little angle, if that makes any sense. There was a little flinch, but once again, well executed. And there you have it, Nick.
Yeah, and there's hardly any margin of error left for Vitaliy.
Yeah, it's getting a little dark. Alternate break format as well. Tough. Got a feel for him. If you know him, you would feel for him. I mean, listen, we don't want to see anyone lose, but both these guys, great guys.
Is anybody broken run out in this game, Mo?
Oh, you would put me on the spot. I believe so.
Okay. They say that.
Yeah, I believe Alex has. Well, I mean, I've got a pretty good shot at Alex being the guy to do it versus Patsura. 2 games versus 9. Oh, well.
Oh, I meant this match, but
Yeah, we've got a producer and are talking to us, but we'll find out. We can't remember if anybody's broken run this match. I don't believe they have, actually, and if they have, it would be Alex. But he's the second rack. Alex broke and ran out. Well, he hit the break a couple times, but yeah, maybe that's the case. That's when he got nice and tight to the 1, so he did break and run out the second time. All right. What do you see, Nick? Pretty smart, huh?
I tell you, that's cutting a fine line there. Can he see the edge of this?
No.
No. But he's got a pretty good kick here. He just has to avoid that 8. Of course, that 7's hanging. Boy, you want him kicking here.
Yeah, he's just off, and I can tell you it's stemming from what's happened prior. It has to be very deflating, losing after 5 hours of play.
Well, do you cut the 1 toward the 7 here? Or do you play the carom? Or do you play safe maybe with the 2-3 or the 9-10, bring it down table? Maybe it's the best. No, he tried to cut it, yeah. Obviously, that worked the best.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell how thin that cut was, but he sure hit that nice.
Got a nice rub on the 2. And opened everything up, actually. That rub was big.
He could go between the 2-3 here, I think.
10 minutes till midnight. If y'all come up, we're going to do a blank mini tournament.
Maybe a little thinner than he wanted here. He ended up a little thinner.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hit the 5, does he? Unless he can hit it full.
Mini tournament.
No, I don't think he's going to hit the 5.
And then we'll start it about.
Oh, he killed that ball.
As soon as I can get some tables, that's where we're going to give you some tables.
Yeah, really nice hit there.
You're at the blank mini. 64
Yeah, he loaded that up with
players.
reverse English, huh?
Players
Sure
game.
did. Looks good, really has looked good the whole match.
The rules are all
We already know that
if you want to read
he's
them.
going to be a contender, but I look forward to seeing him play tomorrow if he gets through this match.
I sure wouldn't want to bet he don't get out here now.
Yeah, and look at this. He's got perfect.
Yeah.
He plays position for the rake, right? He is not concerned about it by any means.
He sure addresses that cue ball good with that rake.
Yeah, he's real nice and tight to it.
Just roll it in at a nice soft speed, and the pocket is huge.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to the low ball here.
Oh, really? Maybe good. Oh, you're right.
I liked your call, but
I didn't realize he had to do that. I thought he could just roll it in and he'd be good at straight angle. He'd even have a little angle on the 9 going toward the 10, but I guess he wanted to hit it a little firmer so the cue ball held its line real good.
well, he feels comfortable. He's even pinched that with an inside ball back and forth clean off the rail.
Well, this match has been all Alex Pagulayan.
It sure has, Nick. The crowd loves him. Nick, we all love you. We appreciate your time, man. It's been a true honor working with you.
Thank
I
you,
enjoy
Scott.
it.
I really enjoyed the match. I hate to see it come to an end, but
Well,
it was a good one.
I'm sure it won't. I'm sure we'll get a chance again. Thank you to ACCUSTATS and everybody that tuned in. We will be back tomorrow, I believe, at 1 p.m. for the next round. Thank you all. Have a great night.
At 7 o'clock, we have Gerson Martinez, who was victorious over Shane.